The number one thing that people tend to do once they hit the ground in a fight, whether they were taken down, they tripped, the person forced them to the ground, is they instantly try and stand back up, which in the rules of street fighting is the last thing you want to do right out of the gate. You have to make sure that you're in a safe scenario to where you can stand up properly and safely without this person charging you. Now, if it's a situation where I'm this close, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to stand up in time without this person jumping back on me. But a lot of people assume that even if I have a good amount of distance in between us, by the time I get up, if this person's really charging at me, I may be able to get up to my knees or maybe halfway up before this person's right back on me. And a lot of the times, if you don't know how to get up properly, especially in these situations, your hands are going to be down, they're not up protecting your face, so this person can easily throw in a couple kicks, a knee, some punches, or they may just simply jump right back on top of you and start attacking on the ground. So you have to understand that once you've hit the ground, the last thing you want to do is stand up right away. Now, when you fall, the first thing that you should do right away is position yourself so that your attacker's in front of you. Even if I'm off to my side like this and I can visually see him, this is not a good position for me to protect myself. There's nothing stopping me, or there's nothing stopping him from coming in and striking me, attacking me. I'm not in a position where I can quickly turn around and fend him off. He can easily jump down into side control, and then I'm in a world of hell from there. So I have to make sure that I position myself to where I'm at a point where I can strike back as well as also start creating space. So your best bet is to get into a position where my feet are facing my attacker as much as possible. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the cleanest position. It may be kind of like a half position here, but you have to work yourself back to being squared up with your attacker. Now, my rule of thumb when it comes to this is to always keep one foot on the ground as much as possible, because it allows me to throw specific kicks, but it also allows me to start moving and quickly be able to change position as much as possible. Now, there might come a time where you have to utilize both feet, but for the most part, keep one foot planted, keep one foot up, ready to go. Now, during this whole process of the ground fighting, the one thing you should be doing is slowly starting to create space whenever you have the opportunity. If he's just standing here, I'm not, again, going to just stand up because he's going to come right at me, but I'm slowly going to start just working myself back and creating space with the intention of, if I get enough space and I have the timing right, I may be able to stand up safely and get back to my feet to resume the fight from there rather than on the ground. I do not want to just start throwing kicks to scare this person off and get him to run away. Because if he starts seeing me throwing kicks, especially if we know that it's out of range, one, I'm wasting my energy, but two, I'm giving him an opportunity to get closer to me, because as I throw these kicks, if it's way out of range, he can easily catch it or simply just push off to the side past me, and now again, he's into my side control, he can get on the mount, he can start throwing punches, and again, it puts me in a worse position than I'm at now. So I have to savor my kicks for when I know that the right time it is for me to strike. If he's in close enough where I can reach his legs, this is going to be some of your best strikes to do, whether I'm striking in the thigh, I'm striking above or below the knee, or even better, if I can hook one of his legs with one foot and kick out the leg with the other foot, or if his other foot's close, I can also kick out that leg as well while still hooking this. If anything, if it doesn't do a lot of damage, it at least knocks him off balance, and it may get him to stumble, and if he does stumble and falls down, then that might be my opportunity to get back up to my feet. Otherwise, throwing kicks to the groin is a great strike. Understand that a lot of these people are going to try and catch your feet. If they start grabbing and catching your feet a little bit, instead of just kind of like throwing kicks and make it hard, work on like circular motion, so I can circle my foot to the outside or circle my foot through the inside, but I'm just making it very hard. Anytime he tries to grab my feet, go ahead, I'm just going to kind of circle him around like this and make it very quick, fast motion so that he can't ever going to get a solid grip. And I'm never going to just leave my feet here and allow him to hang on to this. The second I see him reaching, I'm instantly moving, and again, this is my opportunity to start throwing kicks. Now, one kick that I highly recommend that is very underrated both in sport and street is the up kick. Now, how you do this properly is, again, one foot has to stay planted, which again is a great kick to throw if we're already in this position to begin with. But the one foot that's planted, I'm going to launch and lift my hips. It's not one that I just throw this kick straight. I get the power from my hips. So I launch my hips up in the air and throw this kick. So one, it gets a good extension, but two, it backs up a lot of power. It's essentially like a leg press kick. So if he's leaning over the top and I have range to hit the gut or the groin, again, I post that foot, I extend, and I throw a full-blown kick. If he's really leaning over, whether it's trying to throw punches or catch my hands or whatever the case is, now I can throw this kick directly up into his throat, into the face, and again, it's packing a lot of damage in this case. So it's one that I can follow up with a kick here and follow up the second kick down here. You do have the option to kind of throw somewhat of axe kicks, so if they are close enough, I may be able to come down with axe kicks on the leg that may do some damage, but you're better off trying to go for an up kick or literally just a straight kick to the inner thigh or around the knee, again, to cause a little bit more damage and get this person to stumble. So that's pretty much the general striking that you're going to do, and it's just playing this game. You have to understand what your range is, and as this person's moving around, I have to know when the time to throw kicks is and keep my distance at the same time as this person's trying to close in. Again, if they're far enough away from me, there's really no reason for me to throw kicks if I know I'm never going to hit them. So understand your range and practice within your range so you know what your capabilities are as a fighter. Just don't tie yourself up with this person unless it's absolutely necessary. Now, I understand that fights are going to end up on the ground. I understand that a lot of people train in grappling strictly for ground self-defense, but if you don't have to tie yourself up on the ground, there's no reason to. I understand if weapons come into play, if there's multiple attackers, that type of thing, but if at the end of the day, your goal is to get back up to your feet and get out of the situation. So by tying yourself up, you're making it very difficult for that to happen. But circumstances may arise and you may have to resort to this. So in this situation, let's say he does manage to pass one of my legs to the side and he gets close and he instantly starts smothering down in side control or knee on belly or anything like that. This is a situation where I hope you have some sort of grappling experience so that I can start working out of the situation. Work on your framing, work on your posting, regarding, position yourself to get back to facing your attacker, and we get right back into these positions. What I don't want to happen, at least in my opinion, is when he gets into these positions, I'm going to try and come up with a single leg, I'm going to try and come up with half guard, I'm going to try and pull this person down and tie this person up, because again, I'm putting myself in positions where this person may have an opportunity to get in a deadlier strike. They may have a weapon that I don't see. Again, there might be another attacker that comes out of play, and if I'm too busy tying myself up with this person just to tie up with them, I'm putting myself at risk rather than trying to frame and maintain that distance, because again, my ultimate goal is to get back up, create that distance, work those kicks back in, get back to this squared up position, and we follow in with all the different kick variations. If I've done the damage where this person falls down or they've completely stumbled and I know I have the ability to get up, I need to get up in a way that gets me up quickly, gets me up safely, but also creates distance in the process. So again, I'm not just going to lean forward and simply just roll up. Just assume this person's injured, whatever the case is, and we can start working ourselves up. The entire process is still going to take place with me facing my attacker, but I'm going to have one hand up, start with an elbow, work yourself up onto that forearm. Again, one foot still posted. I usually try and have the opposite hand and opposite foot posted. My hand is still facing out just as a precaution in case this person comes back, but I'm going to work myself up to my hand. My foot and my hand are going to post, and I'm actually going to step backwards because now I'm creating even more space, and as I step backwards, now I can come up, both hands are up, and we're back to our feet again. But the nice thing about this this way of getting back up is if at any point this person rushes me, let's say I'm even here, I can easily just drop right back down into this position and instantly go back into my strikes. Whereas if I try and turn over, or if I try and just sit up and he comes back at me, I'm completely helpless in those situations. So just remember, there is a tactical way to get up. And as always, if you get to the ground, fight from the ground first. Do not try to stand up. Work to an advantage. Get to a dominant position. Take care of the threat from there. Do what you need to do. And slowly work yourself up over time without getting up too quickly. So give it a shot. Let us know what you think. Stay safe.